honeybees, hello my book besties, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lazara if you're new here, and I am super excited for today's video because I'm going to be doing a book haul. I am so happy. This is a huge one. It's over 30 books, I believe. I'm not really sure. I would have to like count again, but I'm not really sure how many there are. Now, some of these books you may have seen in videos, but I haven't officially like went through all of the new books I've recently got in the last few months because your girl actually has not been book shopping for real in like the last 3 months. But then like I had this big spree and I was like, why not? So here we are. We have a bunch of new books from maybe this month and then like a couple of them from like January, February. I'm not really sure. There is a lot of books here. Let's just say I don't know when I bought them, but they're here now. So we're gonna go through all of the books I bought recently. Let's just say the last 5 months. And I'm super excited to get into all of them because I am just like, oh, I want to read all of these books so bad right now. But I have them here for you today and I want to share all of them with you. I'm gonna give a little overview of like what each book is about and just like why I bought it, why I'm excited, you know, just me and my excuses for why I bought the book. So enough yapping because we're gonna do a lot of that anyway. So let's just go ahead and get into the video. First, we're going to start with a book that's actually on my main TBR, and I decided to get it in paperback because yes, I have it on my Kindle, but I also really wanted to get it in paperback as well. So I have Days at the Murasaki Bookshop by Satoshi Yagisawa, and I am super excited to read this book. This is about 25-year-old Takoko. Basically, her life comes crumbling down all at once. Her boyfriend breaks up with her, that he's cheating on her, and then like all of a sudden her uncle from this bookshop calls her and she's like, what in the world? So like her whole life just like suddenly just goes into shambles. She loses her job and all kinds of things at 25 years old. I know, midlife crisis for real. So she ends up going to this bookshop, which is the Murasaki bookshop that her uncle owns, and throughout this book she grows connections with the people around her and stuff like that. So basically this is a story about just her figuring out her life here at the Murasaki bookshop, which is super exciting and different, and I feel like as I get into my 20s I want to read more books like these, and I've heard many good things about this book. I feel like I've heard nothing bad about it. This book is truly something that's inspiring, very different, and it just gives that perspective on like your 20s. You know, there's a lot of things that happen. Your life may be all figured out, but one day it might all come crumbling down. I'm kidding, that's not true, but you know, you never know. Anyways, I'm excited to get into this. This is more of a reflective read, more of something you can also read, and it's really quick. It's like 100 no, it's like 200 and something. No, it's not even 200 pages. So it's a very quick read and I can't wait to get into this. I haven't really gotten to it. I got like 2 pages into it on my Kindle, but I'm excited to get into this a little bit more. Okay, the next book I've been wanting for so long, ever since it came out actually, so it hasn't really been that long, but I really wanted this book because I was like, it's so pretty. It's by a Korean author and it's just like the vibe, and it's about a bookshop again, so like obviously I had to get it. So here it is. Welcome to the Hyeongdong bookshop, and I'm super excited to read this. This is by 봠 and translated by Shanna Tan, and I am excited to get into this book. Okay, so let me just tell you something about this book. Basically, this is about Yeonju. She did everything she was supposed to. Go to university, marry a decent man, all these great things. Again, her life falls apart. I don't know what it is about these books where lives just be falling apart. I don't know why I like these books. Don't ask me. And basically, she's burnt out and she's kind of isolating herself a little bit. But then she opens a bookshop. She decides to follow her dreams and open a bookshop. So, I mean, that's an edible thing to do. In this quaint neighborhood in Seoul, surrounded by books, Yeonju and her customers take refuge from the lonely barista to an unhappily married coffee roaster and the writer who sees something special in Yeonju. They all have disappointments in their past. So basically it's about all these people who come into the Hyeongdong bookshop, and like, you know, they all have these shared stories in which their lives kind of crumble down, fell apart and stuff like that. So I'm excited to get into this one. Again, I don't know why I like books like these where like people's lives are falling apart. Maybe it's because mine is too. That was a joke. I'm okay, guys, I promise. Take care of yourselves, remember that. Anyways, yeah, I'm excited to get into this book though, so hopefully I'll enjoy it, and I think I will. Personally, I feel like this will be a great book to get into for the summer. Yes, it's probably of an emotional read, but I'm ready to read it. The next book we have on here is also another translated fiction. We have Water Moon. This is by Samantha Soto Yumbo, and I've been wanting this book ever since it came out. Now, do I know that much about this book? Not at all. The excuse I have here is that the cover was pretty, and so I got it. This is like the big version where like the words are humongous, and actually big words make it really hard for me to read. I don't know why I bought this one, but I wanted it in paperback, plus it's really floppy, which I really love, so it's okay. Anyways, this is about a woman inherits a pawn shop where you can sell your regrets and then embark on a magical journey when a charming young physicist... Yes. Alright, so anyways, when a young physicist wanders into the shop in this dreamlike and enchanted fantasy novel. So I guess this pawn shop is like magical, so it's kind of giving off the coffee shop. What's that one book I read? I can't remember. But anyways, it kind of reminds me of that, where like you time travel. I'm not sure if that's the case in this book, but it's kind of fantasy, kind of not, and it's a vibe, and that's all that matters. But my main excuse is that it was a pretty cover, and I really don't know all that much about this book, but I'm excited to get into it, and hopefully I enjoy it. I feel like I will. Again, it's just like one of those like cozy translated fictions, and I really love translated fictions. They're always my favorite, so hopefully this will be another good one. The next book on here, oh my gosh, okay. So y'all already know I love the Knock 'Em Out series, and it was my favorite series. I really love that series, okay? And I finished it, and it looks like the author decided to come out with another one. So we got it. This is her new series. I can't remember what it's called actually, but this is the new series that she's coming out with. I don't know how many books are going to be in here, but again, I think it's a grumpy ex-sunshine kind of story, and it's called Story of My Life by Lucy Score. And this is about a writer. Her name is Hazel, and she was a romance novelist until a breakup drives her straight into writer's block. And so basically she stops writing, and now her publicists are saying like, you have this one last deadline, and if you don't do it, you're done. And so basically she's like, okay, well, now on an impulse, this girl buys an historic home all the way in this other town in Story Lake, PA, which is crazy. Story Lake, PA, Pennsylvania? What? Like, we're moving up to my sides of the woods. Like, this is crazy. And she is involved with an incident with a bald eagle. And then she all of a sudden runs into this contractor, and his name is Campbell Bishop. Like, it's an odd story, I know. When I read it, I was like, this is really crazy. So I was intrigued, and I got it. Also, look at the sprayed edges. Like, doesn't that make you want to buy any kind of book? Like, what? It doesn't even matter what it's about. This is beautiful. I love a good sprayed edge book, so this is like already top tier for me. All right, so this next book, okay, this is, of course, y'all already know about this book. If you haven't heard about it, you're like living under a rock right now, because this book came out in April. We already know it's a beloved book already. Some people actually drastically are on the other side who really don't like the book, and it's gonna be my first book by the author, so I don't know. So here we are. We have Promise Me Sunshine by Cara Bestone, and this is about Lenny, and basically she is grieving the loss of her best friend that she lost to cancer, and she moves into this town. I'm not really sure, but she meets this guy. I'm not sure who this guy is actually, and there's just something that happened between them. This is a book that I bought because so many people were talking about it. I promise you that's the only reason I bought it. There is no real other reason. The next book was actually given to me. I didn't buy this one, but this is, I know, y'all hate her. I get it. You don't like Colleen Hoover. You don't have to. It's okay. It's all good. Anyways, this is Verity. This is by Colleen Hoover. This is one of her suspense novels and a little bit on the thriller side. I'm excited to read this one. So basically this book is about an author, her husband, and a writer. I know, it's like 3 different things going on. So basically ᴑ is tasked to write the rest of Verity Crawford's book, and her husband Jeremy Crawford hires ᴑ to do this. So basically she goes to the house and she has to go into like all these deep dark secrets and whatever. And I don't think this book was ever supposed to be published or something like that. So it's a lot to this story, and I'm excited to get into it. I love a good thriller. And I haven't really touched on many of like Colleen Hoover's thriller books, but I did read another book by her that was kind of suspense-ish called Layla. I read her Layla book, and that was by Colleen Hoover, and that was more of a like a suspense thriller as well. And it wasn't really that creepy, but like it was a really great plot twister. I didn't know what the heck was going on until I knew what was going on. So I feel like this will be something like that, and this is one of her newer ones. This came out last year, I believe. I'm not really sure. I don't really remember. But I do remember when it came out, everybody did have quite the opinion about this one as well. But it's becoming a movie. Also, the biggest reason I got this is because my friend said that she literally was traumatized by this book, and I don't know what it is about me, but like I really love traumatizing books, so I was like, girl, give it to me, and she gave it to me happily. She said that she didn't want it anymore. So hopefully I'll enjoy this book, and hopefully it doesn't destroy me as much as it did her. The next book is something I had on my TBR in April. I ended up getting the paperback of this book because I really wanted to get the paperback because it's beautiful. However, the book itself, you'll get more opinions on that later. But here is, we have the Strawberry Patch Pancake House by Lori Gilmore. Already this book is like, it's an old book. Like, I had it for years. It never happened. But this book came out this year, and this is about Iris and Archer. Archer all of a sudden has a kid. He was not expecting a kid, he has a kid. Then he hires Iris to help him out as he gets himself together and he stabilizes himself as a father figure. Because I already read this book, I have so many opinions about this book, but like, I heard a lot of good things about it when I first got it. Some people were on the fence about it, but for the most part, I heard really good reviews. And this overall book, I think, has like around 3-ish to 4 stars on like Goodreads. And I was like, I think this is going to be a really good book. And this is my first time reading one of her books because I've seen all of them from last year because, you know, I was like, oh, these are really pretty covers. Like, the covers are captivating. And she's coming out with another book this year in September for the last book in the series. And I was like, cool. This is a beautiful book. I want to get into the series. They're all interconnected standalones. You can read them by themselves. But I was like, okay, let me just get into this one. Let's just say I have some opinions and you'll hear about them later. But I recommend it. I mean, it's a pretty decent book. It's not a bad book. It's not a great book. It's a lovely book. This isn't a review video, but just know I got it because I was like, I love this book and I want to get into the series. And I don't know why I said I love this book, but I was just like hoping that it was going to be great because it was talking about strawberries. And actually, strawberries is one of my favorite flavors. Like, I'm a strawberry girl all the way. I was disappointed. But let's just say that's why I got the book in the first place. And yeah, these next 2 books are Christian books that I have here because I got these from like InterVarsity's publishing, and then I also got one that is by a famous Christian author. So the next one we have is Mere Christianity by C.S. Lewis, and we have Black Woman Grief by Natasha Smith. Black Woman Grief is about, of course, Black woman grief. So basically just like the grief that Black women go through, as in like the way we grow up and the way we conquer all of that through our faith is what this book is about. I got a little bit into this. I haven't gotten too much farther in, but I want to. I need to, actually. I feel like this would be a really helpful self-help book. It's a non-fiction kind of book, so like it tells her story, it tells some perspectives, it uses scripture in a way that guides you through all of these things, which is a really interesting way to view Christianity. And I'm just super excited to see how she continues to conquer that Black woman title. As a like Black woman, as we grow up, we have very different like experiences, very similar experiences, and I'm excited to see how she navigates all of that through the lens of Christianity. So I'm excited to see how this book goes. I haven't gotten that far into it. I got like 20 pages in, so I want to continue this book, and hopefully I will continue it soon. Then we have here Mere Christianity by C.S. Lewis. This is the one book, if Christians couldn't agree on anything, this is one of the books that like Christians will agree on this, okay? Because it's such a book in which you view the lens of Christianity in such a different way that like you wouldn't expect yourself seeing it as before. And so I'm excited to get into this because I've heard so many great things about C.S. Lewis himself, and he's written another great book that I'll talk about later that I also have as well. But I'm excited to see how this book will go and just like what this book is all about, because I've heard so many people talk about it, and I've heard so many like intriguing thoughts and like opinions and views on this book alone. And Mere Christianity definitely gives you the lens of Christianity in a way in which you've never thought of it before. And I love thought-provoking books. I love things that make me think about my real life experiences. So I feel like this will be one of those books for me. This next book is again another translated fiction. As you can see the theme here, a lot of these are translated fiction because That's where my head was when I was buying multiple of these books, and I actually seen so many of them and I was like, I really need to get all these. Plus the covers, Asian covers, they eat. I don't know what it is, but Asian covers, they eat every single time. I don't care what nobody says. They're like the best covers. If it's not Asian covers, then it's Australian covers, and then after Australian covers, sometimes English covers, but like Asian and Australian covers are my favorite ones. I don't care what nobody says. So, are you at a wall? And you'll see in just a moment when I show you The Healing Season of Pottery by ᴍᴜsɪᴄ. And I'm excited to read this book. Again, why I keep picking up books about people's lives falling apart, I don't know. This is more of a seasonal read, and the cover. Hello? Like, I wasn't kidding when I said like they have the prettiest covers. Like, all of the covers I've just shown you, beautiful. I don't know, they're just gorgeous. This is one of them. Anyways, this is about 30-year-old Jungmin. Her life ends up falling apart again. Okay, yes, I know. And she ends up again pulling herself in her apartment. She just kind of hides there for a long time, and then she decides to come out, and she goes into this mysterious workshop, and this is where she goes into this pottery shop. From there she grows friendships, relationships, and things like that, and as the seasons change, she becomes herself again. She's starting to find herself again. And why does this say, for fans of what you are looking for is in the library, and welcome to the Hyeonam bookshop. Yeon's charming English language debut is a testament to the joy of slowing down in a fast-paced world, and a homage to the art of ceramics and the power of friendship. Readers won't want to leave the enchanting world of The Healing Season of Pottery after the final page. So I guess I should read like the Hyeonam bookshop first before I read this, right? I don't know. Also, the fringes. I love this like little fringe work that we get on these books. I don't know why, but I really love that. And I'm excited to read this. Alright, we have another translated fiction. I don't think this is the last one either, but I was about to say it was, but it's not. It's probably like the third to last one. I probably have like 2 more in here. I don't know. But we have another one. Again, cover gorgeous. Why is the cover so gorgeous? Please. It's amazing. The Convenience Store by the Sea by Sonoko Michida, and I am super excited to get into this. This is translated by Bruno Navasky. I don't know. But I'm excited to read this. Anyways, this is about a convenience store. I know, sounds odd, right? It's about a convenience store called Tenderness. Isn't that the oddest convenience store name you've ever heard? I know. It's a 24/7 convenience store called Tenderness, and it's ran by this handsome like cashier, obviously, as you can see he's in the window, but I don't know. Anyways, a quaint seaside town in Kiras, Kyushu, Mijiko is full of hidden delights, and one unexpected treasure is the 24/7 convenience store Tenderness. Sure, it's a bit odd that the handsome manager has his own fan club, which is crazy, and perhaps the customers are somewhat eccentric, but there's a warmth about Tenderness that draws you in. The employees know you by name, and the shelves are stacked with delicious treats from ramen and crispy fried chicken to sweet parfaits. After a while, you get the feeling that whatever you need might just be waiting for you here. So I'm excited. This seems like, again, like another mystical kind of thing where you just walk in, you feel like this is like a warm hug, something comforting, something great to read on a great summer day, sitting on the beach. I don't know, this is just a vibe. So again, we have another book that's just another vibe, and I love these covers. These covers eat, like, that's all I really need. A good little cover and you already sold me. So as long as the cover is beautiful, I'm already like halfway sold. And another thing I really love about this is like each chapter is so little cutesy. Like everyone has a little thing going for them. There's a different treat at the beginning of each chapter, and that is just so cute, and I really like that. I love unique things like that about books, so I'm excited to get into this one. That is not it for translated fiction. So far we have 5. I think there's gonna be about 6 or 7, so look out, okay? These next 2 books are by an author who just came out, I think last year, maybe 2 years ago, not really sure. But she came out with another book, and it has again been hitting the shelves, and people have been buying it up. I know. And I'm super excited to get into this author. She writes very much general fiction, very much mysterious kind of things. And this is Coco Mahler's QQOTD. I'm not really sure how you pronounce her name, but I got Cleopatra and Frankenstein by QQOTD, and I also got Blue Sisters by QQOTD, and I'm super excited to read both of these. This is her debut novel, and this is also her second book, so they're both fiction. This one is about Cleo, and she's apparently an immigrant. Like, I think that is like the premise, like she's an immigrant, and I'm not really sure, but anyway, she meets Frank and they run head first into like romance between each other, and it kind of just like twists their lives like all together, and he says that he'll help her get her green card, and they are both dealing with two different kind of situations like personally, and from this painfully relatable debut novel we will gather all of these decisions and like spontaneous decisions that happen that can change lives, and I'm super excited to get into it. I feel like this will be a vibe. I don't know. This is what this one is about. I know that just sounded like a really crazy conclusion. I'm not really that good at summing up books. How I have a book channel, I don't know. That's what I got from this synopsis back here. And then this one, The Blue Sisters, is about the Blue Sisters, obviously. One of the sisters dies, and then like a year later, all of the sisters gather back around, and they just reunite to sell their home in New York. And basically they are navigating grief, addiction, and all kinds of stuff. The sisters are Avery, Bonnie, Lucky, and Nikki. Nikki is the one who passed away, and so apparently like this story will just go from there, and these sisters just gathering together, working through all of those things that they're going through, which is grief, like addiction, heartbreak, learning to fall in love, out of love, and learn to live again. You know, like it's another kind of heartbreaking story. So I'm excited to get into both of these. I feel like this will definitely be something out of my like ordinary genre, because I'm a romance girly through and through. So like everything I usually read has like an inch of romance in it, like a little bit or a lot of it, you know what I'm saying? But these ones are just like fiction, you know what I'm saying? Like, so this is gonna be a little bit different. This is more of a romance, yes, this one is, but this one's more of like, you know, family getting together, trying to fix their lives up and stuff like that. My lighting kind of just went out on me, I'm sorry. Anyways, this is about them just kind of like fix their lives, familial things going on. But I'm excited to get into both of these. She's a newer author, and these are the only 2 books she has, so that saved my pockets for sure. But this is literally her whole like backdrop, like there's nothing else. So I'm excited to get into both these, see how I think about her, and I feel like she's gonna be a very interesting author to me. I think I'm gonna like her. Hopefully I like the way she writes, the way she words things. Hopefully they're very poetic. Hopefully this will make me think about life. These are both of her books, and so I'm deciding to get into QQOTD this year, and so hopefully I'll read these both this year. Don't know when, but I'll read them eventually. The next book, again, another book that I had on my May TBR. I decided to again get it in paperback because I wanted the last book in the series, and this is the last book in the series, and you probably already know where I'm heading with this. We have A Curse for True Love by Stephanie Garber. This is the 3rd final book in the series. I'm super excited to get into it, and let's just say I'm not too happy about the way the 2nd book ended, so getting into this 3rd one is going to be a little bit of a rock and a hard place for me, because the way it's beginning is actually crazy. Let's just say that. I started it, I'm already very confused. I don't know what happened. But anyways, this is about Evangeline. She ventures into this magnificent north in the search of her happy ending, and seems as if it has finally come. She marries into this, you know, the handsome prince Apollo, and so basically it goes from there. I don't want to spoil it because it will spoil the rest of the first 2 books, but basically it goes from there, like her and Apollo. That's literally where it goes from. There is nothing else I'm going to give you, because if I do, it'll literally spoil everything, like everything. But anyways, that's all I have to say. I don't know if that was already like a mini spoiler, but hopefully it wasn't. But anyways, yeah. Let us move on into some other books. Okay, so we got a classic here. Again, you've probably seen this in a video already. This is Oscar Wilde, The Picture of Dorian Gray. Basically, this is like an oddity. This is like a really creepy book. I'm not gonna lie. From what I read already from the back, it's really odd. This is a really odd story. Entranced by perfection of his recently painted portrait, the youthful Dorian Gray expresses a wish that the figure on the canvas could age and change in his place. When his wish comes true, the portrait becomes his hideous secret as he follows a downward trajectory of decadence and cruelty. It leaves its traces only in the portrait's degraded image. Wilde's unforgettable portrait of a Fuchsian bargain and its consequences is narrated with his characteristic incisive wit and diamond-sharp prose. The result is a novel that is flamboyant and controversial in its incomparable author. So basically this is about like a portrait coming to life. I know, sounds crazy. It's kind of giving 𝚟𝚘𝚘𝚔. Like I read 𝚟𝚘𝚘𝚔 and like basically the statue came to life. Yeah, okay, so it's kind of giving that. The portrait came to life and basically lives his life, and it only shows on the portrait. I'm guessing. I don't really know. But from that synopsis, this seems like a really wild story, and I'm excited to get into it. The next one, I actually already read. I just bought the book because I don't have it anymore. The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Yes, we all know about this book. If you haven't heard about this book now, really you have been living under a rock, because this book has been talked about so many times. I really do want to read this book again, and I really love this book, and it's one of my favorite books out of all of Taylor Jenkins Reid's books. So I definitely had to buy it again because I don't have it anymore. So I had to get it back. She had to come back to my collection. And actually I like this one better because it doesn't have that little thing in the middle. Because like one of the covers has like this stuff on the side. It says like bestseller, and then it opens and it's just, yeah. I hate books like that. So I want to put this next to all of my Taylor Jenkins Reid's books. So I do want to like, yes, all of my books are right here. Right here. There's 4 of them. My 4 little babies. So I'm going to put it right there. And she's going to be number 5. And I'm super excited to just put all of my Taylor Jenkins Reid right next to each other in the order that I read them. I know. It's going to be beautiful, right? Anyways, I'm just delusional. Moving on into a very popular author who writes a lot of summer reads, you know what I'm saying? And no, it's not Ellen Hillibrand. Carly Fortune! Yay! I got 2 books by her. I got Every Summer After, and I got Meet Me at the Lake. I know she has 2 other books. This summer will be different in the one that's coming out this. So she only releases, I think, during the summer. But this was her debut novel. I'm not really sure. This came out in 2022. And this book came out in 2023. So I think she only releases once a year. Anyways, these are her 2 books that I've heard many great things about. And I've also heard the other side where people are like, I don't really like these books. I think people said they didn't really like Meet Me at the Lake. I'm not really sure. But this is her first book for the summer, and I really do want to get into these in this summer actually, because they are both summery reads and they're like beach reads as well, because like as you can see, these kids are at the beach, you know what I'm saying? Let's go to the beach, let's go get away. I know. This next book is also another classic that is on my May TBR, and I'm excited to get into this one. This is The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stefan Hrabowski. Again, I don't know what's up with these last names. I can't say them. I know there's a movie to this, and I would like to read this first and then watch the movie. So hopefully I'll get into this soon. Again, this is like my May TBR. It's currently May. Have I read this yet? No. So I think I'm gonna open this up sooner or later. I gotta crack this book open soon. I don't know when, but I am. The next book, again, a book you've seen before in a TBR video, but this is A Darker Shade of Magic by V. Schwab. This is about the different Londons. It's a crazy story. We love the different worlds V. Schwab creates. This is about the different Londons. So there's Black London, Grey London, White London, I don't know, Red London as well. And basically it's about this time traveler, and basically he's like not even supposed to be doing this stuff, and from there we get the story of him and this girl, and she's like a robber. She's not supposed to be doing what she's supposed to be doing, and then she begs him to like take her to the other world, and they're basically not supposed to get caught doing this, and if they do, they can die or get into some serious trouble. So this story is like them going through all of these Londons. I'm super excited to see how this will go. I had it on my TBR before. I didn't read it, but I would still love to. I would still love to read this book. Alright, so these next 3 books are actually all part of the same series. I know that sounds crazy, right? But yeah, they're all part of the same series, and I bought all 3 of these books. So one of them you already know I'm in the midst of. I started this series a while ago. 2 of them are paperback. 2 of them are the same book, and then yeah, just a lot happened. Let's just say that. Okay, so basically we have Iron Flame in 2 different kinds of versions. This is not the size I thought it was going to be. Compared to the paperback of this one, this is not the size I thought it was going to be. It's okay though, because I don't know. We're going to figure something out. I don't know. But anyways, this is the second book in that. So this is the Empyrean series, and there's 3 books. So I got this one. This is the second book in the black, you know, what is this, sprayed edges, and it's pretty. I have no complaints about this. The only thing is, I thought I was getting this one in the version in which I have the other two, but it's not the case, so that's okay too. You know, it's all good. So we got Iron Flame here. I'm just continuing the series. I just have to say, I'm devastated right now by this one. I'm devastated. So I don't even know what I'm in store for this one, because everybody said this one tore them open. And they went to a book slump. I don't want to go into a book slump. I'm already not reading that much anyway. So I don't know. But this is Onyx Storm. This is the special edition. I got this one as well from my like local bookstore. Oh my gosh. Do you see the fan art? You see the official fan art? So now we officially know this is what they look like from the back. I don't know what they look like from the front, but I'm excited. Anyways, yeah, this is like, it's really pretty. I don't want to rip it, so I'm just gonna like try to show you guys what it looks like. That's what we got going on. Very beautiful, right? Anyways, this is just the continuum of the series. So we have all 3 of the books here. The next book we have here is =ḽoЛīḍa, another classic, another book you've also seen on my TBR before. But yes, =ḽoLīḍa. I don't really think I have to explain this. It's just a classic that I've really been wanting to read lately, and I just haven't gotten to it. Every time I've had the chance to, I just haven't. I think I'm scared. I don't know why, but I think there's something in me that's like, I think this is gonna open some scars that I don't want to open. So I have 5 books here that are all from Free Little Libraries, and I just really like Free Little Libraries a lot because they always involve some very interesting books. And so I have like 2 mysteries here. Yeah, I have 2 mysteries. Oh my gosh, hello. So we have A Talent for Murder by Peter Swanson, and we have It Had to Be You. This is a like serial killers kind of thing. So basically they're out for each other, and this is kind of giving like Butcher and Blackbird. They're 2 serial killers killing serial killers. Yeah, I know it sounds crazy. So this is one of those stories. We got a wife and a husband, I think, in this one. Very interesting kind of scope of a story. This is set in Denver. So yeah, we have these 2 stories. Then we also have a little bit of something different. We got a book by Nicola Yoon. I have read her before. I really loved her Everything book. So Instructions for Dancing is another one of those, and this is a romance. This is about Evie, and she's learning dancing from this guy named X. They end up falling for each other, and there's a lot of stuff surrounding that, so that's really cutesy, very demure. Then we have Faithful by Alice Hoffman, a book I got before. This was at my Free Little Library, at my library actually, which was really cool. And so basically this is a story about Shelby, and she's like an ordinary girl. This is basically a story about her surviving the things that she went through. Again, another interesting like life-changing story that, you know, I'm into, obviously, from most of the books I've showed you. And then last but not least, we have You Again by Kate Gobeck. And yes, this is a book of the month, like, you know, special. Oh, actually, I bought this book. This isn't a Free Little Library book. Where's the other one? Oh, here it is. This is the other Free Little Library book I have here. This is about C.S. Lewis. Yep, that C.S. Lewis book I was talking about. Basically, this book is a revamp of the Bible in a way that, like, it's fantasy fiction. This isn't realistic. This isn't like the Bible, okay? But the depictions in here represent something. Like, the lion represents Jesus, obviously, but like it's a whole nother thing. It's really crazy. It's a whole nother story, and this is C.S. Lewis like revamping of that, the revamping of the Bible in a way that's like very mystical, mysterious. So like it's gathered from the Christian perspective, shall I say. But anyways, I'm excited to read this. I haven't like officially got to like read this book, and this is like the whole Chronicles of Narnia, you know what I'm saying? Like this is all the books in one big chunky one. So basically it's the story from like them getting into the closet, from them growing up, and just like it's a really interesting story. And now we can get into the rest of the books that I didn't get from Free Little Library. So we're back at You Again by Kate Gobeck, and this is a story about Ari and Josh. They first meet, the wrong kinds of sparks fly. They hate each other instantly. So it's like an enemies to lovers kind of story. They also have like the friends with benefits kind of things, or like friends without benefits kind of thing. So like this is just a lot of things going on. Can they stop hating each other long enough to fall in love is the little prose that's like up here. So I'm excited to see how this is. Oh my gosh, the stacks are getting stackier. So let's move on into the last of these books, because we still have a good 7-8 more. I don't really know. We have a book that is like by another author that I really enjoyed reading the first time I read him, so of course I had to get another book that he came out with. This is called The Life Impossible by Matt Haig. I read The Midnight Library by him and I absolutely love that book so much. It is one of my favorites. So I definitely had to pick up another one by him. This is about Grace Winters, and she's a retiree. And she's left in a rundown house in the Mediterranean island by her long lost friend. Curiosity gets the best of her. She arrives in Ibiza with a one-way ticket. No guidebook, no plan. Among the rugged hills and golden beaches of the island, Grace searches for answers about her friend's life and how it ended. What she uncovers is stranger than she could have dreamed. But to dive into the impossible truth, Grace must first come to terms with her past. Filled with wonders and wild adventure, this is a shape of hope and a life-changing power of a new beginning. So again, this is another story about a friend who's like lost a friend, and she's trying to figure out like what happened to her, and from there this is just like how the story goes. So I'm excited to see how this will go. I'm like really intrigued to read this book very soon. Again, this is like an adventurous kind of book. She's like on the Mediterranean island at Ibiza, I think that's what it's called, and like I'm excited to see how this story will go. The next book is by somebody I really love. So yes, we have Madison Beer here. Yeah, I know, that sounds crazy, right? The Half of It. This is by Madison Beer. This is her story. Crazy. I did not know she had a book. And if you don't know, looks like I'm ahead of you, you need to go buy it. But anyways, this is her book. This is about singer-songwriter Madison Beer chronicling the past decade of her life, in the spotlight, the ups and downs and the in-betweens that you won't see on social media. Madison Beer was discovered at 12 years old. She's one of the first artists to like have her whole like entire life documented online. Over the past decade, she has navigated the spotlight as a child, her teenage years, and now as a young woman in her 20s. So basically, this is her story of like, you know, navigating through all of those things, and I'm really excited to see her story play out. Okay, this next book, again, another book that everybody's talking about, obviously. This book is also on my TBR, I think. Yeah, I think this is also on my main TBR. I don't think I'm gonna read it this month, but yes, here it is. Everybody's already read it. Say You Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. I read The Friend Zone by Abby Jimenez and I really loved it, and many people say that they really love the way Abby Jimenez writes, and I think her stories are very beautiful because she puts these very realistic topics into these characters, and she does it in such a great way that makes you just feel so connected to them. And she writes about things that like you usually don't write about. I have heard many negative things about this book instead of the positives. I don't know how to feel. I don't have a side yet, so once I pick one, y'all will know. Okay, because I really do love Abby Jimenez, and she's like a hit or miss author for some people, and that's understandable. Some people don't like those topics, some people don't relate to the character, some people don't feel like there's any connection, but I hope I find myself somewhere. I don't know where I'm gonna be, but I hope I find myself somewhere in between all of this. So hopefully I'll read it soon. I don't think I'm gonna read it this month though, because there's only 2 weeks left when I'm filming this in May. And I haven't even finished the book yet because I've been so stuck on Iron Flame. I really don't have that much more left of the book, but I don't know if I'm going to finish it after what happened yesterday. Next book here is something that I got like last year, way back, and this is again like a mystery kind of story, small townish. This is Framed in Fire by Iona Weishaw. But anyways, I'm excited to read this book. It's a small townish kind of story. This happens in early spring 1948. I haven't even checked on how many books are in the series. I also haven't seen like what the series really is about. I don't know if these are interconnected standalones. I don't know if these are supposed to be read together. I'm not really sure. It's something that intrigued me, so I was like, I definitely want to pick it up. Then we have Paper Towns by John Green. Now, I'm sure you've all heard of this beautiful classic. I'm sure you've all read it. I haven't. I have never read this book, and I know that sounds crazy. If you want to come at me, you can in the comments, but I haven't read it. Definitely something I want to get into. Again, this is another book on my TBR for May, and it's also another translated fiction. This is the last one, I promise, because I have like a good bit in here. This is the last one. This is Thousand Autumns by Ming Shi, and I am super excited to get into this one because it's a BL. Now, we all know I was obsessed with, not that I was obsessed, but you know, I really love this series. Maybe obsession is the word. But my favorite series, as you can see, is displayed over here, The Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation. I really ate this series up. I love this series. There actually is more books. I just found out. Not that I just found out, but like there's more books to this series that they're not translated. There's a 6th and a 7th book, but they're not translated, which makes me a little upset. But there is comics to this book, so all 8 of those are out. I think it's 8. It might be 7, but anyways, this is another series kind of like it in a way that it is like, you know, historical Chinese kind of BL-esque kind of thing, you know, and I want to read it. And so here it is in my hand. Another book on my May TBR. Am I gonna read it? Probably not. But if I feel like I'm really in the mood to read it, I'll read it. There it is, Flawless by Elsie Silver. I know. I have not read any of her books yet. This is a beloved author ever since her other series. So this is her Chestnut Spring series. And then she also has another one called Go Rush Ranch. I'm just not ready to be reading about cowboys. Like, I don't know what it is about like cowboys that's just not like clicking to me. Like, sports romance, okay. You know, that's cool. Being a small town romance, okay. Yeah, but then this is a small town romance but like farms. Like, I don't know, like something about that just ain't hit for me. I don't know what it is. Like, yes, I read small town romances, so it sounds crazy that I don't want to read about a cowboy. Yeah, I know. But anyways, yes, cowboy romance, and all of her books are cowboy romances, every single one of them. Y'all have to like trigger the something in my mind to make me read it, you know what I'm saying? It has to be something very much like, oh my god, this is like why you would love this book, you know? So here it is, Flawless by Elsie Silver. The fact that I've gotten that and know that I have this many books already in my bookshelves and I know that I can barely fit anything else just says that I need to stop buying books and really need to lock in on my physical TBR now that I have more books. And I kind of held back on buying books, to be honest. I feel like I'm very proud of myself. I feel like this is a once time kind of thing. Like, I'm not going to be buying books anytime soon. I'm really trying to cut down on buying books and doing more reading them. So I have been. And I've read 14 books this year. So 14 books was supposed to be my limit in buying new books this year. And it kind of has been. I haven't really gone that far over it. Some of these books are from last year. So I didn't buy all these books this year. But, you know. So anyways, with that being said, hopefully you guys enjoyed my TBR video, and I hope to read all of these books someday soon. Comment down below what should we do today. The book stack emoji, because we haven't done that one in a while. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you can get notified every time I post a new bookish video. Please don't forget to tune in for the you know, revamping of this bookshelves, because that is what I'm about to film next. Okay, please don't forget to be true and be you. Read all the books you want to, because your opinion is validated here. And I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.